the UIFL MVP and former commissioner of the Ultimate Indoor Football League, the Hefty Lefty himself, Jared Lorenzen. Jay, what's up, man?
Hey, man, how are you been?
Hey, I'm good. Well, I'm sweating. It's, it's 2-a-days in the middle of summer, so I'm sweating here in the studio. That's kind of what it is for me.
I sweat in the air conditioning thinking about that.
Are you like me? You just walk right up to it and stand in front of it for like 10 minutes?
Oh, God, and under a fan. I mean, I'm seasoned at that now.
It's like you're like Mr. Freeze, kind of. You go from room to room, and if it's like room temperature, you can't be in there. You got to go back.
Oh, it's miserable. Yeah, I mean, my house right now is set at like 64. I mean, it's got to be cold.
What was training camp like for you?
Hell. No, I mean, that was quite a few pounds ago, so it wasn't too bad. It was, as mean as everybody says Coughlin was, we had the morning practice and a night practice, so it never, and we were upper New York, so it never really got miserable for us.
But did you have like air conditioning? Did you have because Jared Goff, on Hard Knocks, we saw he just bought fans for the offense a couple weeks ago.
Well, that was smart. Yeah, whenever you're a rookie, make sure that the offense is happy and make sure the big guys are even happier. No, yeah, we had air conditioning. We were living in Albany's dorms, and they were, they were dorms, but everybody had their fans and had their air conditioning on as low as it would possibly be set on. And did Coughlin have a conversation with you about not bringing girls back to the dorms? I think it was just known. Thou shalt not do that. It was the 11th commandment. I mean, everybody, especially the first 2 years, was so scared of him. They didn't do it. And trust me, we were in Albany. You weren't bringing girls back. I mean, it just wasn't there.
Are you surprised the Giants moved on from Coughlin?
Very, very. I thought he had one more year in him. I understand why they went with McAdoo, but I thought Tom deserved at least one more year.
So why was everybody scared of him? Was it just his overall intensity? Was it something else? What was it?
Oh, well, yeah, that, and he would fine you just because he looked at something weird. He was just a very intense, militant guy. Always wanted things done his way. And personally, for me, it worked out. But, a lot of guys hated him until that last year when they showed that the guy had a personality and he was a grandfather and a son and a father. I mean, it was amazing watching him grow and turn into the coach that he did.
Did you ever get fined for anything by him?
Oh, my God. Yeah. I mean, my nickname is Hefty Lefty. I mean, Pillsbury Throw Boy. I mean, yeah, the weight issue came up a little bit. Luckily, I got fined a couple times for that. But, he was, he was fair to everybody. I mean, it didn't matter who you were or what you did. You were getting, if you did something, you got the fine.
Where are you at the point now if training camp for the average quarterback who's trying to either make the team or show that he can maybe take a step up? Here you are. It's week 1 getting into week 2. What's your mindset? What's going through you?
The way we always did is I never played week 1. If I did, it was like the last series just to kind of go out. Then my big week was always week 2. So this is where, and getting into week 3 is where you've got to make your big step. And I think that's where they're deciding, who is slotted into what position. There may be still, a 4th receiver, a 5th receiver open. But for me as the backup, man, I was going in there and making sure I knew everything. I mean, it was late night study sessions for me because I wanted to show them when I came in that I was ready to go and that I could make all the checks that I needed to make and that, God forbid, Eli went down, that, you could count on me to step in and, manage the team.
We watched RG3 last night have a pretty good night, threw a couple of touchdowns, did some running, but the defense is pretty vanilla. How different is what he's going to see from week 2 compared to when the regular season starts?
Oh, I mean, it's night and day. I mean, defenses are just doing the basic stuff. They want to put guys in the right positions and let them, let their athleticism make the plays. They're not completely, doing the exotic blitzes that you'll see, the coverages that you'll see. You're not going against their ones all the time. People are always sitting out. So, yeah, he had a good year. He had a good, couple games so far. But see how he does week 3. That'll be a big jump. And then regular season game 1. That'll be where they start throwing, the house at him because he's got, they're out there to make wins then.
It's the Rich Eisen Show on DirecTV. Jason Smith in for Rich. We're talking with Jared Lorenzen, former NFL quarterback. You can get him on Twitter at JaredLorenzen22. All right, so I mentioned Jared Goff a little bit. And watching Hard Knocks, we've seen a couple of interesting things. Jared Goff doesn't know where the sun rises and where the sun sets. Didn't know that it's rose in the east and set in the west. We had Will Hayes also on Hard Knocks last week say that mermaids aren't real. Mermaids are real, but dinosaurs, but dinosaurs are not. Did you play with anybody like that had those kind of beliefs or thought those things?
Okay, I've got the biggest controversial thing for you, and all the guys at Kentucky give us so much grief. I don't think we landed on the moon. So, yeah. I watched the conspiracy thing when I was in college. I was like, oh, it got me. I don't think we did.
Wait, so what do you think happened? How did we fake the moon landing?
Oh, we staged it out where you guys are.
In the Rich Eisen studios? That's
LA,
pretty cool.
It was totally staged. Or Area 51, it was staged.
Or Area 51.
Yeah. Because there was no wind blowing with the American flag?
Well, yeah, that was part of it. But a lot of it was the footprints, how there's no moisture up there, but they made footprints. And where's the blast crater from when they landed? I mean, all that stuff. And I was like, that could happen.
What did your teammates?
I don't know why not. I mean, hey, look, I don't believe in mermaids, and I think there's dinosaurs. I mean, there could be worse things, right?
Oh, sure. What did your teammates think when you would say that, throw that on them?
Oh, God, they think it's hilarious. And it's not just me. Look, I'm throwing my boy under the bus, too. Me and Shane Boyd, I was the quarterback, he was the backup, and we both watched it. We were late to a meeting because we had to finish watching it. And we're like, oh, my God, dude. Totally happened. It totally didn't happen. So throw us in there too.
Wow, and you're a quarterback too. No one looked at you and said, "Boy, this is a quarterback. This is the guy we're going to follow here."
We're intellectual thinkers, man. We can think outside of what everybody else thinks.
All right, so since you're a conspiracy theory guy, help us out with this. Tom Brady doesn't start last night for the Patriots because he cut his thumb trying to get something out from between his cleats. Cut it with a sharp pair of scissors. Then he left the stadium, and there's a big question whether or not he really got injured. Was this just a ploy to get Jimmy Garoppolo into the game right away when he didn't think he was starting, just to see how he responded? Is that something that you could see it being feasible?
Well, I mean, look who it is. Heck yeah. I mean, you go in there, and it's a definite to make sure. I don't know if they still script plays or not, but I know we used to script our first 10 to 15 plays. And if you're the backup, you're never thinking you're going to get to know those 15 or have to run those 15. So, your starter's out. Anything can happen. Let's see how prepared the guy actually is and see if he can go in there and jump in. I could totally see it happening. I'm not saying he hurt his thumb or whatever, but it's the preseason now. I don't put anything past the Patriots in the preseason. Or regular season, for that matter.
Did you ever try to get stuff out from your cleats with a very sharp object?
I don't know where were they playing that would have been under his cleats.
They were playing at home.
Or if it was at home, what got tape? I mean, I don't have any idea. And if you're Tom Brady, you've got people that do that.
Jared Lorenzen with us here on the Rich Eisen Show. Jason Smith in for Rich. Jared, what do you got going on now, man? Are you still going to try to play? What are you doing?
Oh, God, no. Oh, no. I do have fun on Twitter, and I have put myself in different jerseys and sent it to those teams. I may come up with a Pittsburgh one, too, just because I watched that game last night.
Yeah, not good for Landry Jones last night.
Yeah, and I like Landry, too. That's the worst part. Actually just working, man. I've got a 14-year-old daughter who just started high school. I've got a 6-year-old son who's in the second grade. So my life revolves around them. I mean, it really does. I'm doing whatever I can with them to just be there. You know what I mean? I was living in Lexington down in Kentucky for a while, but now I'm back home, and it's been a good time.
All right, J-Lo, hit him up on Twitter at JaredLorenzen22. Great catching up. I'll look for that big Steelers jersey. Put yourself in a Bradshaw jersey.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I mean, it may be a Mean Joe Green. I'm not sure yet. It'll come out there. Don't worry.
We'll look for it, man. Thanks so much.
Hi, Sid.
All right, great stuff.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.